Come follow me. I'll show you the side of the world, the places that you've never seen. Come follow me. Come follow me. I'll show you the side of yourself, the person that you've always been, but never dreamed.
Can I ball for a minute? Ride on. I got this, let it roll like a night storm. Forever winning, don't you ever get in my way. Cause otherwise I'ma rise up in your face. Teamwork, head first, with my feet in the dirt. Extreme thirst, feel the surge of adrenaline burst. My knees hurt, please nurse, let the medicine work. So I can get up there and be professionally superb. I won't stop till I'm certified. Won't stop till I'm first to rise. I'm on top getting first prize. Gold medal, get a running ahead of you each time. Can I ball for a minute? Let's go. I got this, let it burn like some petrol. I'm getting W, so don't you ever doubt this. Cause otherwise I put my money where your mouth is. You heard right that the earth is mine. Burn bright, let the ember shine. You know I'm gonna get it every time. Champion, wearing the crown. I can see my name in lights. Spark from the heart and it shines so bright. Yeah, let the whole world know. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I can can see my name in lights. Ball till I fall and I'm feeling alright. Yeah, so let the whole world know. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Right. I'm with the stars and I'm feeling superb. An excellent definition of the true word. And every time that we in it, there's a new version of an immaculate tap that they can use further. And I don't sleep, I stay awake, creep through the dark streets till the morning. All I want's what I see coming to me for the work that I put in every day, cause I'm hustling. That's right, I'm sanctified. Living large cause I paid the price. And my mama gave the same advice. She said, boy, being smart doesn't mean you're right. You wanna roll with a winner? Let's ride. Competition get diminished every time. Playing hard till it's finished and then some. But we ain't scared, we prepared for anything. You heard right that the earth is mine. Burn bright, let the ember shine. You know I'm gonna get it every time. Champion, wearing the crown. I can see my name in lights. Spark from the heart and it shines so bright. Yeah, let the whole world know. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I can see my name in lights.
Motherfucking trailer. Would you like to see Gorosaurus vs. Man, the solo trilogy from Toho? No, I would not, because nobody gives a shit about those two monsters. Let's be real, honestly. With the exception of a handful of Toho monsters, a lot of them really suck. this guy's got glasses. Oh, a sophisticated zombie.
I heard Rodan's in here. I don't know. I don't know if I missed him.
I missed Rodan. On top of the volcano, I missed Rodan. Flying over the water, I missed Rodan. He's been confirmed, established 2014, right here on E.T.N motherfucking N.
I have only ever loved one woman. And it ain't you, bitch. Poof! Bye-bye! Have a nice trip. See you next fall, because winter's coming!
I figured, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Number one is Godzilla. Godzilla?
Motherfucking trailer!
Oh man, I can't wait till that figure comes in. Can you tell? Oh man. The music gets me so hyped. The more I look at his clips, I realize he's nuts. What? Oh. Me? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's YouTube high flyers. It's not the mods or anything. If it was the mods, it would say who timed you out. All right, sorry. I can't get enough of that. All right. Singular Point. All right, we're going to get into Singular Point in a little bit. We're going to start off talking about Planet Eater because I finally subjected myself to watching it. Only because, and I guess I could blame Singular Point because I said to myself, well, I can't, there's no fair criticism or comparison I could do between the two animated programs without watching the third movie in the animated trilogy. So I finally watched it last night, shortly after the stream. And I'll say this, it's certainly not the worst of the three. I still concede that the second one is the worst one. Here's actually what I loved and at the same time hated about the third movie. The presentation, the foreboding, everything that had to do with the arrival of King Ghidorah was absolutely 100% excellent. It was excellent. It's something that I wish any other movie or program would do with Ghidorah. Not since King of the Monsters did I feel like Ghidorah was an actual threat. Because, you know, you look at all the older Godzilla movies and Ghidorah was either always tag teamed or Godzilla would just annihilate him, making Ghidorah feel like he was soft. But the way they made it, the way they made you feel in this movie about his impending arrival and the sick way that it coerced people into religiously believing in him to the point that they were unwittingly sacrificing their own lives for his arrival was absolutely insanely good. Until he arrived. That's when everything got ruined. Even to the point where the singularities opening in his presence far exceeds the idea that there is a constant level 10 like hurricane following in his wake. The fact that his mere presence from another dimension into ours causes a singularity is absolutely insane power levels. But then he arrived. And that's where I kind of like was, I mean, it looked like 3 large spaghetti strings coming out of the singularity. And there was nothing that resembled Ghidorah. There was no wings. You saw it like in the shadows, like when they spoke of him and when there were visions of him. And I said to myself, I was hopeful. I said, okay, if that happens at some point, I think I'll be satisfied. But it never did. All it was this insanely long spaghetti strand that looks like it was over-saturated in butter. You know, you ever take spaghetti and you just want pasta, you don't want sauce, so you put butter and garlic and you put a lot of butter in there to give it some taste? It just looks like he was like, yeah, like a big ramen noodle oversaturated with butter. I went back before I watched the movie to catch up on some of the story elements. You know, I just read stuff online. I didn't want to go back to the movies again. So I remembered, so I could at least have an idea of what's taking place. Because, you know, I haven't seen these movies in a while. I do remember, I was reminded quickly of how annoying the voice actor is for Haruo, however you say his name. Character itself is not horrible. Like I said, I liked the first movie. But man, that voice actor is shit. Overly voice act. The dude was trying to win an Oscar with his voice in this movie trilogy. Yeah, like if you're gonna hype something up that epic, your Ghidorah better come correct. Like he better be like this most epic, and this guy was just not. He was just and there is a common problem, and I'll get to it in a minute in Singular Point, but it's also a problem in the Godzilla animated trilogy with building up to these monsters and all this and all that. But overall, it's still a bad movie. I will say it wasn't as painful to watch as I thought it was going to be. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, but in terms of monster action and the delivery there, it was absolutely horrendous. I mean, basically, you got Ghidorah sucking on Godzilla for like 25 minutes. And Godzilla takes 2 swipes that goes through, and that's it. And then after that, Godzilla blasts the 3 singularities and game over. It was just such a disappointment. I would take that level of presentation in terms of how you're building up to Ghidorah, because the build up to Ghidorah was absolutely insanely epic. I'll be honest, it was. It's just that the end result was so disappointing. You know, it's one thing, you know, when they were talking about, and the exposition, don't get me started on that, was the most annoying thing in the world. Because as you're watching what's happening, which is not much, it's just Ghidorah sucking on Godzilla. I know that sounds bad, but you know. Then you got the soldiers talking about, basically giving you play-by-play. I kind of felt like the soldiers were like the commentators of a boxing match while there was not a match going on. You know, he's in another dimension. Oh my, how can this happen? Wait a minute, it can't be. Ghidorah is, and I'm like, what in the hell is this shit? There's got to be a way to show me what's going on rather than having these fools telling me every 5 minutes. Then you got the long now look, Malphite, think that's his name, I probably would say is probably the best character in this whole trilogy. Especially in this movie, I thought his character was really good. His whole explanation, his deranged idea of basically destruction being the ultimate pinnacle in your life. You know, very twisted, very demented. But I think the exposition between him and Haruo towards the end, where he's kind of in that trance, then Mothra comes the fuck out of nowhere in his dream, And, you know, and then at the end, you know, you had the little, I'm just going to call her a Martha twin because that's really what they are. Let's be honest. You have the one that talks good and the one that talks like kind of like a retarded Yoda, you know, and he hits that, gets her pregnant, right? At the end, you think it's all, you know, all right, this is how we're going to live. You know, Godzilla's running the world, but we're just going to live. We're going to survive. That was the whole premise, right? We're survival. Like losing is basically dying and winning is surviving. That was the whole theme. So what does Haruo do? He ditches his new woman who's pregnant, picks up his old semi-dead girlfriend, hops in a jet, and goes full tilt right into a Godzilla breath to end the movie. What the fuck was that? What was that? Talk about irresponsible. What's the whole point of going through the hell you went through only to pick up your catatonic ex-girlfriend, ditch your current pregnant girlfriend, and just kamikaze right into Godzilla? Oh my God. Look, overall, it was bad. Okay, it was bad. It wasn't nearly as bad as the second movie, but from the point Ghidorah arrived to the end, I gotta say that's really what killed it for me. Up until the point where they were building up to Ghidorah, I was actually impressed. I was like, wait a minute, this is actually pretty good. And then the whole Ghidorah thing happened, the exposition happened, the stretched out dialogue between Haruo and Mouthpiece while he was in that daze, and then go through all that hell he went through in 3 movies only to kamikaze into Godzilla. What are you proving there? You got a girl who loves you. You got a kid on the way. All right. You've managed to survive. You got a nice place, you know, right? The flowers are growing. He looks at the flower, reminds him of his parents when they gave him the kamikazes into a fucking Godzilla beam. It's just the dumbest shit. It makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. What a horrendous movie. It's just so stupid. I'm sitting there, I'm like, because at first I'm thinking, oh man, is he gonna do something that's gonna like suddenly kill Godzilla? And no, he flies right into a beam. His girlfriend, or it was his friend, really. It wasn't his girlfriend, but you know, they explain how she's still living, but she's not. Like the nano is basically keeping her alive, but if you remove the nano, then she dies. I could understand, honestly, if he put his friend in the ship and then set autopilot to that makes more sense than anything. But for him to go in there with her and just ditch his girlfriend who's pregnant, fuck. And she's cute, right? She's cute. You know, she was going to give it up to him in the cave the first time. He's like, no, I need to rest. That's some bullshit. You know, right? She says, I want to connect. You know, basically she wants to get off. And he's like, I can't. You know, she just was straight up, just dropped her clothes, was like, let's go. I'm like, oh, man. It's a Godzilla IP. Let's not overcomplicate this. If Godzilla is hitting up the city, everyone should be fucking, okay? Because it's probably the end of the world. That's why if I made a Godzilla rated R movie, not only would you get all the things that I told you that I'd like to do, but you get a lot of sex scenes. Because realistically, let's be real, right? People would, you know, 2 loved ones, our city's about to collapse. We're in we're at ground zero. There's no escape. Let's make love for the last time before we die. There'll be a lot of that going on. Okay? But no, this dude kamikazes into it's just so stupid. I don't know, man. Oh, God. Oh. Look, if I survived all that and I had a nice young woman already pregnant with my kid, all right, she's cute, she's very sweet, and poor girl, right? She was by his side. She stuck by him through his struggles, right? even tried to give him a little respite with the little nookie break. He said no. Okay, look, she respected that. She probably said, hey, look, at least he respects me. He hits it later. All right, they're making their little life. It's primitive, but it's life. And he ditches her and then flies the only chance that they have at rebuilding civilization into Godzilla. And I understand the reasoning because that the whole thing is that the more men pursue power, then the whole thing was that Ghidorah might return and all this crap. Look, who gives a shit? Okay, just rebuild your society. But no. He takes their one chance at rebuilding the world, maybe even having a chance to kill Godzilla, and just kamikazes the whole thing. I mean, what a fucking asshole, right? Leaves his pregnant girlfriend, kills himself, all right? Kills his catatonic friend, and then shits on any chance humanity has at recovering their way of life. And I'm supposed to like this movie? And it doesn't make any sense on top of that. It doesn't make any sense to put this character through all this. Then you have a movie that thematically is telling you, the whole theme of survival is winning and dying is losing. And he just, and then he gave himself the L. It's not like Godzilla earned it. He just said, I'm losing. I'm going to choose loss. And if he had not done that, not only will there be a chance for them to rebuild society, they might have an outside chance to actually defeat Godzilla because of the technology that they could have rebuilt based on the nanotechnology that guy was talking about. He would have had an outside chance, at least an outside chance to save his friend. I just who is writing this shit? Well, I'm talking about Jim. I'm talking about Godzilla Planet Eater because I watched it finally last night after stream, and no one kills the story in a terrible way. I know. I really thought Rob would like it. It had a chance. It really did. I'm not gonna lie. It had a chance up until Ghidorah arrived. It had a chance. I was actually into it. I was like, wow, this is actually decent. Like, I don't understand. And then when I knew what Ghidorah looked like, but I was hoping, but they kept showing a vision of him with his wings and the three heads and all that. So I was hoping, okay, it's not perfect, but if he's formed, I can live with that because they set up his arrival so well. But when it turned into three big spaghetti strings coming out of the singularity, I was like, okay, that's it for me. I was disappointed. So, yeah. I thought the anime trilogy would be really good after we got Shin Gojira, but I was so wrong. Yeah, well, let's get into Singular Point. So, what do you guys want to hear first, the good or the bad? You guys want to hear the good, the bad, the good, the bad, the good, the bad, the good? Oh, Jesus Christ. The bad, the bad, the bad. A lot of bads. All right, I'll give you one good that'll at least give you an idea of where this is going to go, okay? I'll give you one good thing, and then we'll start with the bad, and then we'll revert back into the other good things, okay? So, one very big good thing. When the fucking show ended. Oh, man. Oh. Okay, no, seriously, I'm just messing around. All right, here's we'll start with the bad. It was a little boring. I actually started falling asleep in the last episode, and that's not for lack of sleep. It was a little boring. A very, very try-hard show. A very try-hard. Making things overly complicated. You know what I mean? Like, all the science mumbo jumbo, and they didn't know where they wanted to go. Was it a time thing? Was it a multiple dimension thing? Was it another singularity? Because actually, if you guys pay attention, and if you did see Planet Eater, there is a similar plot line to what was Ghidorah's plot line in Planet Eater in terms of different dimensions, and Ghidorah coming from a different dimension, and these monsters from a different dimension. So a lot of different plot lines trying to these things can work. There have been movies where multiple plot lines happen, and then they all accumulate towards the end. A good example is a movie like Crash. Ever seen Crash? If you guys never seen Crash, watch it. Fantastic movie. That's a good example of a movie that has multiple plot lines, and you kind of don't know where it's going, but all the multiple plot lines are interesting enough to keep you engaged. And then at the end, they all kind of intertwine and connect, which is excellent. That's what this show tried to do, and it epically failed. It epically failed at that. So that's one thing. I thought the story was too overly, they just tried too hard. Then you get to Godzilla. Now look, I'm not one to complain how long it takes Godzilla to show up. Okay, I'm not. Some of the best Godzilla movies, he doesn't show up until like a half hour, 45 minutes into the movie. Godzilla's first appearance, when you realize what Godzilla is, his first overall appearance is at the end of episode 7. You do see him before that, but this is the same creature that many people thought was the Titanosaurus in the ocean. No, it was a pre-evolved form of Godzilla. I wasn't sure about that. So technically for me, Godzilla's first appearance is episode 7. Episode 7. That is 3.5 hours. Technically, if you're watching an enlarged movie, that's almost halfway through the season before you get your first glimpse of Godzilla. And if you want to get real, no. I know what you're saying, Assassin. That's why I addressed that. If you know that that's Godzilla, then okay, you want to say episode 3, that's fine. For me, it's episode 7 because I didn't know that was Godzilla. I didn't know that shit in the ocean was Godzilla. It wasn't until he made it on land and evolved into a second form that I'm like, oh, that's Godzilla. So technically, episode 7, okay? But if you want to get real, if you're talking about Godzilla, his final form, and all the action, what is it, episode 10? Look, that's ridiculous, okay? It's one thing if you're building it up with this great story. It's one thing if you have at least hints of Godzilla there. You did not get full-fledged Godzilla. You did not get full-fledged singular point Godzilla, the new design and everything, until like episode 10, which is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, I am never one to complain about how long it takes Godzilla to show up. If I'm complaining how long it takes Godzilla to show up, you took too long. No, I'm not going to cancel my Godzilla Ultimate. What are you, crazy? No, I love the design. How I feel about the show has nothing to do with whether or not I like the design. Yeah, if I'm complaining, look, I'm a very patient Godzilla viewer because I've watched Godzilla for a long time. There are many movies where it takes some time to show up. It wasn't my complaint in 2014 like it was for a lot of other people. I get it. The build up to Godzilla is very important if you're telling a good story. We did not get a good story. So if your story is going wrong, then Godzilla needs to pop up a lot sooner. So, yes, technically you see Godzilla in episode 3, but he looks more like Titanosaurus with dorsal plates. And then he makes it to land. And then he's in this cocoon for like 3 or 4 episodes. And then he comes out as they bomb him. He comes out looking like, a knockoff Shin Gojira, right? And then finally, full-fledged, epic, singular point Godzilla, episode 10. So you get him, and then even then, with 3 episodes left, you don't get much of him. You don't get much. And then, now, other bad things, okay? Overly drawn out exposition of all these different elements of the story that this did not grab me. It did not. And you know what's sad? I actually like the characters. I like the characters, and the voice acting was pretty good. The character, I thought the old man was great. I loved the little old man who controlled Jet Jaguar. Some of the AI back and forth conversations was very confusing because they were going so fast. It took me a while to realize that there are two different AIs talking to each other via text messaging. And then on top of that, the text messaging shit, I don't know what that was for. You know what I mean? Like, it's just stupid shit. This dumb shit. And I would say that it's unfortunate because I do think they had a potential gem here, but it was ruined with overly extended multiple story elements that have to do with space-time and alternate dimensions and a song with a message in it. And then you have this thing called the fucking, I don't even want to try and say it. Every time they said it, I felt like I cringe. I'm like, what is this? It just was all over the place in terms of a story. Now let's talk about the good. I loved all the monsters. Okay, at least what they did do is while you're not getting Godzilla, you are getting a lot of monster action. You're just not getting the kind of monster action you might want. I say this as a good thing. They should have just called it Jet Jaguar Singular Point. Had they sold this show as a Jet Jaguar led cartoon series, I think it would have done it much better. Because really, that's what this is about. This is about Jet Jaguar. This is Jet Jaguar story. This is like a Jet Jaguar origin story. He is the focal point of the story. He is the number one thing about the story. Everything about the story in this show has to do with Jet Jaguar. From the moment he's first controlled by the old man to the moment where he becomes his own AI, and then he gets the invincible programming at the end to fight. It's basically Godzilla versus Jet Jaguar at the end. That's what it is. And it's a fight you want to see, and it's a fight that they don't really give you enough of. Yeah, but you're not trying to make dough. I mean, you're trying to make dough, but you're not trying to make like box office. Like, you wouldn't do this as a movie. But as a TV show that's animated, why not? You honestly would have been better off just calling it Jet Jaguar Singular Point. So, and I did come to like Jet Jaguar a lot, actually. You guys know I wasn't too hot about the design when I first saw it, but that's probably one of the few story elements in the show that I did like, was everything revolved around Jet Jaguar. And I thought, if you're a Jet Jaguar fan, you're going to probably love this show. Because, you know, we only ever got to see him once in Godzilla vs. Megalon. And never again until this series. In this series, he was front and center. I like the more realistic takes on some of the monsters. For example, Megalon was actually an insect. He looked more like an insect than he ever did in the movies. So I thought that was cool. All the Megalons. I do think it was funny how they cock tease the smog monster. So when Jet Jaguar's killing all the Megalons, they start to, like, even though they're dead, their blood or whatever it is, their goo starts to kind of, I don't want to say put them back together because I don't think that's what it was doing, but it was almost like it was gathering. And at one point, their blood formed what looked like the smog monster, but it was just like a tease. It was like, there's no smog monster. Yeah, I'm saying that's a Megalon. Just look at the face and look at the claws. This is Megalon. I'm not calling that Kumanga. No fucking way. I don't give a shit what they say. It's clearly Megalon. You just look at the face. It's Megalon. Did they call it Kumanga in the show? I mean, they might have. There were times I wasn't paying attention. I'm not going to lie. Like, I had the show on, but I was so bored at some point, I'd start playing a game on the other side. Yeah, they say it was a spider. Yeah, I'm calling it Megalon. Wiki says, yeah, but that wiki is a Godzilla wiki, dude. That's like some dude that's no different than you and me just writing that shit. You don't... It's funny, people say never take Wikipedia seriously, but they want to take a smaller niche Wikipedia seriously over the regular one. Look, You could call it whatever you want. I am. If you want to call that shit Kumanga, go right ahead. To me, that was Megalon. Okay? It was an insect. Look, Kumanga never flew. Okay? Megalon did. The face is Megalon. The eyes are Megalon. The mouth is Megalon. The claws are Megalon. It flies like Megalon. It's a fucking Megalon. So yeah, there was a Megalon with Gigan claws. You're right. Anguirus is so Anguirus was very cool. And correctly represented. He bit the dust pretty early. He was probably one of the few monsters that did not get very far in the show, which is surprising considering how badass he was for the short time he had. But once again, it doesn't matter what kind of Anguirus we're looking at. He's a bitch. It all comes down to that. My son gets upset when I say that too. Last I checked, Megalon doesn't have 8 legs. Yeah, and last I checked, Godzilla doesn't have teeth on the bridge of his mouth, but we're calling him Godzilla, aren't we? Actually, you got a double for that. That's right. Megalon doesn't have 8 legs. Godzilla doesn't have teeth in the bridge of his mouth. Rodan is a lot bigger than he was in the show, and there aren't 300 of them. But we still called him Rodan, didn't we? You got to pay attention to what else is going on in the show before you drop a comment like that. Manda, I thought, was really cool. Like Manda a lot. It's a shame we didn't get to see more of him. On the official Singular Point site, they called it Kumanga. Okay. All right. Look. All right. Let me. Okay. All right. This is where I have to disagree with the people who set the lore, okay? All right. Let's see if there's an image of the new Kumanga up here so we can take a good look at that grill piece. And we can let's see if I can find one here. Where is it? There's got to be one image of. Oh, you know what? I didn't put. Let me put this. There we go. All right, there it is. Oh, it's too small. Hold on. Look for a good shot of him. Oh, these pictures are so small, though. All right, so let me save this one because this was the cock tease that everybody thought. This is such a bad job by the show to do that. All right, where's... Come on. There's got to be a better picture. There are some pictures here, but I'm looking for a good one that you can see his face close up. A lot of them don't have close up faces, shots of his face. La, 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 la. And just so you know, I mean, you guys do know Megalon is an insect technically. So I thought it was a little bit more accurate representation of Megalon than anything else. Facially, it looked more like Megalon than it did Kumanga. I mean, yeah, you had the eyes on the top like any other spider, but underneath that, and that's the shot I'm looking for. Underneath that, you had that when he, in other words, like when he opened his mouth, you saw it. It had the ridges. It had the eyes and the mouth. Like you had the blue eyes up top, but underneath he had the 2 yellow eyes on the side, and then he had a mouth that opened and looked just like Megalon's and everything. Like when I first saw it, the first thing I thought of was, "Ooh, look at that! It's Megalon." And I wasn't disappointed by that. I was like, oh, good. He actually looks like an insect now. All right, so he's a spider. Maybe it's not the perfect choice, but at least he's an insect. They have him anatomically correct. If I could find a good, clear face shot of him. What did you guys think when Godzilla did his atomic breath for the first time and it came out like a donut? I thought that was pretty funny. I'm like, wow, they actually did that. They actually gave him a donut breath. The only difference is it actually did damage to... Let me see. Maybe this is a good one. Okay, here it is. Here it is, right here. This is a good shot. All right, let me pull this up. I'm going to have to zoom in because it's kind of small. So it might look a little bit... Okay, this is as big as I can get it, unfortunately. So look at the mouth here, right? On the side. Look at the eye, okay? And look at the drills. Now, I get it. Obviously, look at this. I mean, Kumanga was never shaped like this to begin with, but okay, neither was Megalon, right? So, but look at this. Look at this significant features of Megalon right here in the mouth, right here in the eyes, and right here in the claw. Okay? Now, if you want to say that's Kumanga, that's fine. But at least you could admit that it's a Kumanga blend Megalon. I mean, it's so obvious. I mean, I'm not saying you guys are lying. I'm not saying he's not Kumanga on the show. I'm not saying that the show doesn't refer to him as Kumanga. But if they didn't tell you that and you didn't easily accept it because, you know, you guys, some of you guys read one passage and you're automatically convinced. I like to be a little bit more defiant. If I see Megalon in there, I'm going to say, yo, that's Megalon. So I'm not saying that it's not Kumanga. I'm not saying you guys, obviously you guys are not wrong, right? That's what they said on the show. You guys said that. But are you denying that Megalon's presence is not in that design? Yeah, in the show they said it's a spider, exactly. So that's why I want to know why everybody's saying it's Kumanga. They made Megalon sounds and Kumanga sounds so shrug. Yeah. I mean, Kumanga, Megalon, I guess it doesn't make a difference either way. And then they did this to us, right? At least I know some people, because I remember some people saw this on the trailers and they got excited only for the show to really kind of shit. And this is what I mean, right? Shows should not do this. I don't blame people for thinking when they watch the trailer that this was going to be the Smog Monster. And all it ended up being was Kumanga / Megalon blood stuck together to briefly look like the Smog Monster. I mean, when I saw this in the trailer, I was like, ooh, this is pretty cool. And then I saw the show and I'm like, wow. I'm like, it's Godzilla planted on the edge of destruction, whatever the fuck you want to call the sequel. It's Mecha Godzilla City all over again. Right, but usually what they do with references, Josh, a lot of movies and TV shows, they don't show you the reference in the trailer to jerk you off. They'll usually show it in the show or in the movie so you can say, hey! But if you see that in the trailer, you're like, whoa, we're going to get Hedorah. They did another Mechagodzilla City bullshit, is what that was. Okay? Yeah, it was a dick move. So this is, this is my problem with this show. They had so much potential for this to be a great show if they had simplified the story. And I know what's going to happen. There's going to be people who love this show. They're going to take that very elite They're going to take that very elite approach and say, you just didn't understand it. It wasn't for you. There's nothing to not understand. The story sucked. That's what I understand. Okay? You're trying to take multiple space and dimension elements from, like, there'll be a sci-fi movie that'll focus on like a singularity. There'll be a sci-fi movie that focuses on alternate dimensions. There'll be a sci-fi movie that focuses on time travel. This show tried to do all three. They tried to do all three. And it just turned into a gobbled mess. When you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. And then, and let's not even talk about the red dust. So Gabra, again, I don't, was that even Gabra? They called him something else, I think. I mean, I'm going to consider it Gabra because that's what it looked like. Again, great design. Look, the monsters were not the issue. As often, these are not the issues with these movies, unless you're watching the animated trilogy where, like, I was fine with Godzilla's design. I wasn't cool with Ghidorah's design. His design, I mean, even though Godzilla in the animated movie looks like old man Godzilla, you know? Salunga, is that what they called it? Yeah, Salunga. Like, so, yeah. Salunga was the only new monster they made. And then it had highlights of Gabara. So he's Gabara but called Salunga. So kind of like Megalon is called Kumanga. And Smog Monster is Megalon blood or Kumanga blood, however way you want to see it. Gabara with a tail, yeah. Yeah. Is basically Gabara, Baragon, and King Kong. Okay. Don't like the looks of Jet. Actually, Jet Jaguar turned out to be one of the best things about the show. In all honesty. So the Manda monsters were cool, obviously. The monster designs overall, I got no complaints. I really don't. I thought they looked really good. Animation was okay. I would say that animation, the Godzilla movie trilogy, is far superior, but I like this animation style better. I like that little bit more of a rustic, older look anime style than the almost borderline CGI style of anime. What about Godzilla's third form, which was a reference to Gorosaurus? How was that a reference to Gorosaurus? There was no features he had that looked like Gorosaurus. Like, where's the reference there? I'm trying to figure that out because I just saw the last episode not even 4 hours ago. I mean, the form he was in before you evolved into... Yeah, I know which form you're talking about. Yeah, how is that like Gorosaurus? Because it's green and has Gorosaurus' spikes. So it has two features from Gorosaurus. That could be any monster. Because I tell you right now, the first thing I thought when I saw that was not Gorosaurus. It looked like a whale with feet. Did you see that mouth? Because Gorosaurus don't got a mouth like that. Believe me, my hand's on the button. My finger's on the button right now. It had his roar. No, it had the regular Godzilla roar. He had the Godzilla roar the minute he hit land. Not once did he have the Gorosaurus roar. There was also a Varan form where... Rob, the spicy Cheeto dust is just a physical manifestation of the interdimensional singular point, and what makes Godzilla to exist. It was mixed with... Okay, but you didn't say... See, they didn't say that before. They didn't say it was a mix. You know what I heard? I heard the Godzilla 1984 roar as the primary roar for Godzilla. I didn't hear no Gorosaurus bullshit. The music in the show is great. I'll tell you that right now. All the music in the show I loved. Varan was the second form. You talk about Godzilla's second form on land was supposed to be Varan? Yeah. Is that what they officially said on like the creative team? No wonder this show sucked. You make hold on here, because let me get an image because this is absurd. I feel like because I can't get them off of Netflix. It'll block the image. Okay, so this was Godzilla's second form. I have the picture right here. And then we'll go to his first form. Okay. Now this, I will agree, because he had 2 land forms, then he had the sea form. Now, this one I will agree is definitely very Varan inspired. There it is. That was his second land form before the third land form, before Ultima. Very Varan inspired. Thankfully, it wasn't on screen long. All right, so that definitely. But the one that, where is it? Do I have it right here? No, not that one. This one here? Okay. This, I don't see anything Gorosaurus here. I got to be honest. I don't see anything Gorosaurus here. Nothing at all. His arms are longer. He can be on all fours. Look at that snout. Gorosaurus don't have a snout like that. He's got his dorsal plates. The spikes on the tail don't mean shit. Godzilla's had little spikes like that on his tail before. He's got a red hum, and he's a darker green. Where in God's heaven's earth do you see Gorosaurus? Although I gotta say, I like this form, but he looks more like a big ass. And when he opens his mouth, it reaches like his top, the top portion of his mouth goes to like the back of his neck. I mean, his mouth opens so large. Where are you getting all this information, Josh? And don't say Godzilla Wiki, because if you say that, then it just kind of discredits everything. Godzilla Wiki are not official people. They're just random people like me and you that write their own fucking opinions. He's got the ear like spikes, so that's it. So he's got one spike that looks like Gorosaurus, and now this is a Gorosaurus form. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people, I don't understand why people do this, right? They see one little thing that they might interpret as something else, and suddenly it's a reference. That's not a reference. That's just you seeing what you see. You're talking about Wikizilla? Okay, well, you know. I'm going to open a website of absolute, according to me, absolute, concrete Godzilla facts. I'm going to call it Robzillapedia. And I'll hand it to you, and that can be your reference going forward. How's that? Don't worry. Don't question anything. Just read it and take it as sound fact. Because I have inside sources, apparently. Gorosaurus has the same color. His roar was... No. Steven, stop. Stop. Don't. Guys, really? Gorosaurus is not that dark. He is not that dark. Come on. Put in a show, a movie, I understand, I get it. Because Gorosaurus is only in 45 seconds worth of content in the Toho movie, Godzilla movies. Put it in, Destroy All Monsters or whatever. Watch. He is not that color. Not even close. And he has no red on him. Although I think that's supposed to be the dust. But either way. Come on, man. Don't put me into an argumentative mood by just throwing shit out there. Come on. I don't even watch Godzilla movies every day, and I remember that Gorosaurus looks nothing like this. Nothing. He looks nothing like this, Steve. You look up okay, we'll look up Gorosaurus. I know I'm not fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's look up Gorosaurus. We'll take one picture at a time, okay?
He really grows.
We'll do a couple of them, just for reference, okay? We'll do this headshot right here, and then
Camille Morris subscribed to the channel.
Thank you for the sub, and then we'll do a full. We think we're gonna find a full body shot. Full body shot. Gorosaurus obsessed motherfuckers out here. I just don't get it. The guy's in 45 seconds worth of content in every Godzilla movie, and there's just this obsession with him I can't understand. He's not even he sucks. He's absolute garbage. Like half the Toho gallery of monsters are trash.
You are one awesome motherfucker.
All right, I'm looking for one more body shot, but they're only showing like toys right now.
Newts for Kaiju tipped $5. Yo Rob, what's up? What's up E.T.N family? Been so damn busy with work, I can barely get a minute free. Hope everyone here is doing well. Shout out to my son for graduating this week and on to high school. I know you still orc balls and Kong still lost round 2. Thumbs up.
All right, here's one shot of Gorosaurus. All right, this is probably a figure. There's one. All right, I'll pull up another one. Where is it at? Hold on. All right, here's another one. Headshot out of a movie. Okay. And then I have one more here. Is it this one? Nope, I already pulled that one up. So it's got to be the last one. And here's another one. Okay. All right. Now let's pull up the Godzilla picture again. Actually, I have it here. And this is, I would say this one right here is the darkest one of the group right here. Even that is not as dark as this. Oh, let me zoom this in a little bit. Look at the face. Look at the face. Can I move this? Can I pinpoint the face here? Look at that. Look at that. You gonna tell me that's Godzilla? I mean, that's Gorosaurus? Yeah, I pulled up 2 movie pics and 1 toy pic. One of the toy pictures represents him as like a lime green. In the full body pic, he looks more like almost like a grayish color than a greenish color. And then the headshot is probably the closest to this color, and it's still not dark enough. His tail's not even that long. And the idea of Godzilla having, I would say the long tail is more a Shin Gojira thing than it is a Gorosaurus thing. Gray, right? Yeah, see, that's what I thought when I saw one of those pictures, is that he looks gray. Not this. I'm talking about the Gorosaurus. So I guess some people are colorblind. Yeah, I know what's going on for. Actually, that's not even the dust from the movie. That's actually his red hue. That's like his natural red. But even still, even if they were the same color, I mean, look at the body. This is like nothing like Gorosaurus. The Varan one, I can see that. Definitely very Varan inspired. This, I mean, all right, if they're calling it to, like Gorosaurus, and I guess so. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. But, you know, okay. All right. I mean, if you want to, if that's what if that's what Wiki's saying and you want to go with that, that's fine. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I don't see one hint or iota of a reference to Gorosaurus in that picture. You could say that it looks like Gorosaurus, but let's be real, dude. I'm gonna pull up the picture again. Let's be real, Steve. Come on, Steve. You're a smart guy, right? Do you think that looks like Gorosaurus? Honestly, let's be real. I'm not saying you can't say it's a Gorosaurus. You want to call it, that's fine. Does this look like Gorosaurus to you? Is there anything on here that looks like Gorosaurus to you? The face? No. The arms? No. The feet? No. The tail? No. The color? Maybe. All right? Now, I'm giving you evidence right here in front of you. Okay, what features? What features does he have that are similar to Gorosaurus? Gorosaurus doesn't even have scales like that. Gorosaurus has little warts up here. Like that? You want to call that a reference? A little wart? Because Gabra has warts too. In fact, if you ask me, you look at that face, that looks more like a Gabra face than a Gorosaurus face. Am I wrong? I'm just saying, maybe I am wrong, but to me, that face looks more like Gabra than it looks like Gorosaurus. Am I wrong? Why do we concede to a wiki or to the idiocies of the creators? Just because they're the creators doesn't mean they have the ultimate, maybe these creators didn't know a fucking thing about how these monsters should look. Did it ever occur to you guys that probably most times you guys here know more than creators do of these shows? Did you ever think about that? Like, give yourselves more credit. You have spent so much time with these monsters, you probably know them back and forth better than the creators do. So why would we concede to what the creators say? If you concede to what they say, you're never going to get a good show. It's time to stand up and say, this ain't Kumanga or Megalon. This is some abomination Kumanga fuck Megalon shit, and we want one or the other or both, not spliced together. It doesn't even look like... Sorry about that. Stream disconnected for a brief second. All right. Yeah, they did. It's basically a hybrid. That Kumanga, even though they're calling it Kumanga, I just showed the picture. The face is all Megalon, and the front two arachnid legs are Megalon's claws, or his spikes, or whatever you want to call it. It's official information of what the names of the monsters are, and the Titanosaurus, Varan, and Gorosaurus are Godzilla, as well as Megalon and Kumanga, and the Salunga isn't Gabara. I understand that. Let me get this straight. Here's the irony. You guys want to learn the irony here? Everyone here, not everyone, most people here will swear up and down, will swear to God, that Godzilla 98 is not Godzilla. Okay? Right? But now, because it's Japanese made, it's okay. It is Godzilla, or it is Gorosaurus, or it is whatever. The irony. Night, buddy.
Dad, can I sleep with Emily?
Not tonight, tomorrow. So we can question any creators, okay? And look, I was the first to say, the advocate, that Godzilla is Godzilla. If that's Kumanga, if that's what the show says is Kumanga, that's fine. But if other people can swear up and down against developers and creators of the monsters and designers or whatever, if they can question that, then I can question this. This is because it's Toho doesn't mean they get a pass. So yeah, I'll acknowledge that's well, you see, you're getting it from a wiki though. That's the problem. See, you're getting it from a wiki. When I made my argument for Godzilla 98, this was sound information straight out of Toho that they signed off on that design, okay? You're getting your information from a wiki. So my point is, if we can question and if we can burn Godzilla 98 to the point that it probably inspired Americans to do Godzilla the way they did for the Legendary series, why should we not hold Toho and animators to the same degree of standard? For all the people who want Toho to succeed, They're not going to succeed if you keep giving them a pass on this bullshit. So, and this is why a lot of Godzilla fans and a lot of Godzilla people hate me. Because I will shit on Toho the same way I would shit on... Look, I don't disagree that Godzilla 98 doesn't look anything... I've said that a million times. And we've sent it to hell for so long. Believe me, you think Legendary, when they made the 2014 movie, didn't know that people loathe Godzilla 98? Of course they knew. Had we given TriStar a pass for that, do you think we would have gotten the Legendary Godzilla that we got now? Probably not. Damn, I thought only Kong fans shit on Rob. No. The Toho purists hate me. Rob will shit on Toho the same way he shits on Zack Snyder. All is fair. Look, bottom line is, if it's bad, it's bad.
Huh.
Night, sweetie.
What is that? Godzilla?
That's Gorkzilla.
What?
Gorkzilla. I think current day Toho has been really lazy. Yeah. I think they were going to make more movies with 98 design. Well, thankfully they didn't. If the MonsterVerse did the same thing, MonsterVerse fans would eat it up. If MonsterVerse did the same thing of what? What are you talking about, Assassin? Because right now I can already see the shit rolling out your mouth. You know what I think was wrong with Toho? I think they're trying too hard. That's what I think. Make the monsters look like in Singular Point. No, honestly, it's more likely that if the MonsterVerse had did something like this, they would have gotten shit on more because they're an American company. It's because a Japanese company did this that people are like, oh, it's so, you know what I mean? It's Gorosaurus and it's Kumanga and it's fucking Megalon. It's Kumanga's body with Megalon's face is what it is, really. That's really what it is. Look, my assessment overall, if you want to see a good animated kaiju show, watch Pacific Rim: The Black. That is far superior to this. Far superior. I would be interested to see the sequel to 98. The script for it was to put a while going a lot more traditional Godzilla movie. They took redesign. Basically, to me, I kind of look at it like, look, I overall like the monster designs regardless. Okay? I didn't like the way they teased the smog monster. They should have just kept that off the trailer and left it on the show. I think if they had just left it on the show, it would have just been a nice nod and people would have recognized it as that. By putting it in the trailer, you're making people think you're going to see the smog monster. The idea of Godzilla evolving from Titanosaurus to Varan to, do I dare say Gorosaurus? It looks nothing like him. Varan thing, definitely. Titanosaurus, definitely. Gorosaurus, not even close. That is like not even nearly. If they thought there was anything in their Gorosaurus, they didn't watch the 45 seconds of Gorosaurus screen time in the Showa series, okay? And believe me, I think that's maybe the most amount of screen time he's had, is about 45 seconds. If you take the little shots of him on Monster Island from multiple movies, and if you take the short time he's in Destroy All Monsters, it might be 45 seconds of Gorosaurus. How this monster has become so wanting is beyond me. It's one thing if he did anything epic, I would get it. Kind of like the Boba Fett effect in Star Wars, right? Wasn't there very long, but he did some cool stuff, and that's what made people want to see more of him. Gorosaurus stuck his head out of a bush in one movie and drop kicked King Ghidorah in the back in another. Where I mean, help me out here. Where's the appeal? Help me. Maybe I'm wrong about something. He drop kicks Ghidorah in the back and he sticks his head out of a bush. Other than that, he has no particular look about him that's good. Like, it's pretty generic. Where's the appeal? Help me. You're right, I did say Bush. Whoops, wrong button. Can we really even call him up? Excuse me, sorry about that. Can we even really call him an old school dinosaur? Are there any? I mean, I'm not a dinosaur expert. I know some of you guys are. You're really into that. Is there a dinosaur that ever looked like him? Or anything remotely close to him? Let me close this. Oh, he bit his tail. There you go. From the last dinosaur? What are you talking about from the last dinosaur? He's supposed to be an Allosaurus? It's an outdated dinosaur look. I mean, he had the old posture of a T-Rex, but aside from that, no. Apparently, Grosaurus is based on the Allosaurus. He did fight King Kong, but again, that's, you know, that's a different series of movies. I'm referring to, nobody gives a shit about Kong. He lost. Giant dinosaur is awesome. That's my appeal. Yeah, I mean, look, I understand. I guess, you know. Their logic right now, wiki equal 100% facts. A modern version of Gorosaurus in the Hollow Earth would be epic, especially fighting Kong. I suppose. What did you think of the Mechagodzilla post-credit scene? Oh god, there was a post-credit scene with Mechagodzilla? Oh, I'm gonna have to go watch that now. I didn't even know. The minute the credits rolled, I turned the shit off. I was like, God, it's over. Oh. It is disappointing, though, because there are some elements of the show I loved. Absolutely loved. I love Godzilla's design. Look, when Godzilla was on screen, it was awesome. I love the way they do his atomic breath in this one with the little, like circular thing, and that's all good. Very much telegraphed, though. Could easily get his ass whipped. Very telegraphed. I love the whole Jet Jaguar appeal. Like, the whole story. Like, Jet Jaguar is essentially the main character of the story in terms of, you know, kaijus and stuff like that. Whoop. Okay, this is, what episode is this? Why did it just take me straight to episode 9? Instead of episode 1. That was weird. All right, hold on a minute. Let me go see this end credit bullshit. Ugh. Okay. I have to mute this. So. Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. There's Kumanga. There's Mothra. There's Manda and King Caesar. There's the real Jet Jaguar. There's Kiryu. I like how they just mess with people and show the freaking monsters at the end of the during the credits. They show the actual real. It's just so fucked up. It's like, why do that? They're not even in the show. Okay, here we go. Oh, they took the bones. Okay. Yep. Oh, that's very cool looking. He's actually got real teeth. All right. I guess that's what we got next in season 2. I don't know how that's going to play out, but I guess we'll see. Is this an acknowledgement of what came before? Yeah, I guess you can interpret it that way. Or it's just a way of saying, haha, this is what you wanted, but that's not what you got. It comes out to be the weakest Mechagodzilla. I know. Nah, it looks good, though. I will say that. Again, the designs of the monsters were not the issue. I thought the monsters looked great. Overall, I think they look great. Rob, what has a better story, Godzilla versus Kong or Singular Point? God, Jesus. I don't think it's a matter of the better story. I think they both have weak stories. What makes Godzilla vs. Kong better is that they cloud the lack of story with good monster action, whereas Singular Point, the monster action is few and far between, and before you see the character that you came to see, you don't see him in full-fledged until episode 10, which is absurd. I mean, yeah, we could say, oh, well, Godzilla technically was in episode 3. Okay, Titanosaurus Godzilla was in episode 3. Varan Godzilla was in episode 5. All right. I guess Goro Godzilla was in episode 7. You didn't really see full-fledged Godzilla till like episode 10, which is just stupid. It's just, if you have a good story, then you might be able to pull that off. But if your story is lacking, and this story was lacking, you cannot afford to wait till more than half the season before you show Godzilla full-fledged. And I will always favor a cinema movie over an anime. I just think, you know, animes are always, they're just cartoons. You know what I mean? That's not to take away that it's hard work to do it, but I like things that look a little bit more, you know, cartoons just don't look real, obviously. Where movies at least look more real. You know, they're meant to look realistic. No, overall, it was disappointing. It was better than the animated trilogy, and there are some things about it that are really, really good. Like I said, the monsters, like every other kaiju, the monsters are not the issue. The monster designs were very unique. They took some of the traditional monsters and kind of melded them together. And Jet Jaguar was the star of the show, in my opinion. I really fell in love with Jet Jaguar like halfway through the season. I was like, oh, I love this Jet Jaguar. Yeah, he looked gimpy and everything, but once they gave him like his own AI and he was able to control himself without being controlled by the old man, I thought he was great. I don't know how he became super huge out of nowhere at the end. That was kind of weird. You know, I know there's the Invincible Protocol, and I knew that was going to happen, to be honest. I'm like, okay, there's no way he's going to fight Godzilla being like 2 feet, like being like 9 feet tall. And Godzilla's like 100 feet tall. I think I'd have to give the season 1 6 out of 10, but I need to watch it again. In every kaiju movie, the issue is always the story. Rob looking like Daddy Kratos now. Yeah, I would say it was like probably like a 5 out of 10 for me. Maybe even 4 out of 10. The story was just absolutely ridiculous. It was the future version of who? What are you talking about? Like future version of what? Like what? Well, I don't know if it was a future version of him. It was just a different version of him. But it was a version that I didn't think I was going to like, and I turned out liking probably the most in the show. Would I buy a Jet Jaguar figure now? No. No, I don't know. Just because I bought some figures in a cluster, like I did, doesn't mean I'm a collector. At the end of the day, I'm gonna have 5 figures. That doesn't count as a collector. The statue doesn't count because the statue is actually a statue. It's not a figure. Singular Point is about time and space. Yeah, and they did a horrible, horrible story surrounding time and space, especially when they weren't even in space. That's the crazy thing. We saw nothing happen in space. No, I just love the irony. We'll crap all over Godzilla 98 for all the reasons, and we'll protect Toho for all those same reasons. That's not how you get the company you love to do better. Doesn't matter if it's a figure or a statue, it's still collecting. Okay, so if you want to consider that, so I'm gonna, by the end of 2022, I'm gonna have 6 figures. Does that count as a collector? I don't understand why a lot of people are already giving it an 8, 9, or 10 on 10. I think it's just hype because Big Monster. It's not even Big Monster. You don't see Godzilla. The pictures that we saw of Godzilla before we saw because what people are going to say now is, whoa, he popped up in this episode. It was his pre-evolved form. Fine. That's a technicality. But the Godzilla you came to see, which is the ones that we got in the pictures before the show came out, right? Because we saw the pictures, we had really no clue that he was going to have these evolved forms. Now, I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. That's actually kind of cool. You know what I mean? But if you came to see that Godzilla you saw a picture of, you're not seeing him till 3/4 of the way into the season. That is insane. That is insane to wait that long to see what you came to see. A physics guy actually wrote the script for Singular Point? Right. What was his grades in school? Because there's a big difference between a guy who passed physics with a D and a guy who passed physics with an A. Well, next time you go to your doctor, ask him what he passed med school with. You might want to reconsider depending on what he says. Yeah, you can get a PhD with a C, bro. You know what I mean? You can actually pass college with like a C+. And what I'm guessing is, because there had to be more than one writer, right? Well, actually, no. Now that you mention it, it does make sense that a physics PhD wrote the story because he wrote it for his fucking peers and not the audience. I mean, how many people here know physics like the back of their hand? Anyone? I don't. So one person who had a physics PhD wrote this story. Makes perfect sense now. Yeah, the music was good. I will say that. The music was great. Oh, did anybody get that little reference to Godzilla 2014? When the little cat was quoting, I am become death to the destroyer of worlds. Anyone catch that? Rob, you always said you love realistic Godzilla and Singular Point. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. A lot of physics is based on theory. Okay, which means that it's questionable whether or not it's realistic. There's a lot of measures of physics that we're not even able to test, so we don't even know if it's 100% accurate. So in essence, this is actually as unrealistic as it gets. Yeah, it's definitely overcomplicated. If you're a physics major, then you'll probably like the show. Yeah, I was going to say that too. There's nothing realistic about the show. You telling me no one's going to get sick with all this red dust flying around? When was the last time you saw a swarm of Rodans flying in the sky? I can deal with one, not millions. Yeah, I caught that, but I didn't see it as a reference because I actually recited the poem in front of my sophomore English class. What the hell does that have to do with the Godzilla? Everybody knows that that's a real terminology, but it was used first in Godzilla 2014. I find it interesting that they use it in singular point. I would see that more as a reference to 2014 than a reference to your English class, because I didn't know you recited it in your English class until you told me. So everybody here probably would say, oh yeah, they said that in 2014. Steve is going to be like, I recited that in my English class reference. Hi. Hello. Oh, come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, you sitting? What do you think? Let me pull. Oh, good girl. Oh, you're so pretty. You're so pretty. Come here. Come here. Come here. Up, up, up. Come on. Come on. Don't be a... Come here. I got something good for you. I'm lying. I'm completely like, come on. Oh, yeah, yeah. Bring me the Cheese Whiz. She loves Cheese Whiz. No, not a bone. Just the Cheese Whiz. Because that's how she'll... That's... I know you're waiting for something. I know, because you think I have something. What is this? Oh, she just licked her. Oh, wow, okay. I didn't even take it out yet. Okay, you want some Cheese Whiz? Okay. She does. Okay. Oh, no. That's a cap. Look, here we go. Relax. All right, there you go. Cheese Whiz. There you go. Oh, it's so good. And you got some on your nose too. It's so good. I love Cheese Whiz. Oh, you want a little more? Okay, a little more and that's it. There you go. Oh, Cheese Whiz. Yummy. You big girl. You guys want to see her lick it off the cap shield? All right. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. There it is. Right there. Look. Go ahead. Come on. All right. I'll help you. Come here. Come hither. Someone's got to eat this cheese now because I'm not leaving it on the shield. Come here. All right. Look. Come on. There you go. Okay. Watch right there. God, you're so big. There you go. Good girl. Clean that shield. Good girl. All right, that's enough cheese. No more. That's enough. Paul. Looking for more Cheese Whiz, huh? Nope, no more chica. Get your saliva off of there.
What?
No, that's it.
You created a monster.
That's it. No more.
You can bring her.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'll be here. Yeah, I'll be here. There's no more up there. Oh, there's a little bit there. How did that get there? All right, that's enough. No more, spoiled girl. Mommy's got the goods for you now. All right. Oh yeah, of course you.
Oh. Ooh.
She's like, what are you doing? Mwah.
Love you.
Oh, I know. I don't have any cheese with, so no kisses for me now. Gosh, she's getting so big. She's almost 50 pounds already. Rob, would you say that Singular Point is some of the best Godzilla content we ever gotten? No. No, I can't say that. I wish I could, but no. Just because it's better than the animated trilogy, that's not really a high bar. Look at, are you even paying attention? Oh my God. No. You want to know what the best anime is right now if you like kaiju? Pacific Rim the Black is far superior than Singular Point. Far superior. I never thought I'd say that. I got to be honest. But Pacific Rim the Black, woo, far superior. Like Toe's got a ways to go to reach like Pacific Rim the Black. Were the fights good? Anguirus versus Jet Jaguar was good. Jet Jaguar versus Kumanga Megalon was good. Jet Jaguar versus Godzilla only lasted like 10 seconds. And for those 10 seconds, it was good. That's probably as far as it goes. Jet Jaguar versus Rodan was okay. But there's not a whole lot of monster action in this movie. There's a lot of monsters, but in terms of monster on monster fighting, there's not a whole lot of it. There is like one monster that Godzilla fights, but he fights him for like half a second. Like the monster goes after Godzilla, and then Godzilla bites it, and that's it. And then it's over. Godzilla is absolutely dope in this show. He's just epic, but they just don't. I never thought I'd say this for any Godzilla content. They don't show enough of him. And if I'm saying that, they're not showing enough of him, believe me, because I'm a very patient Godzilla viewer. I understand that some of the value behind a Godzilla movie is building up to him. This show waits till episode 10 to show him. Out of 13 episodes. Now, to be fair, technically they do show Godzilla early, but they do the whole evolve thing like they do in Shin Gojira. So he's not fully evolved into full-fledged Godzilla till episode 10 or episode 9 maybe. And it's, yeah. What was your favorite Singular Point Rodan design? The one with the spikes on the chest? Because I know like the first one I don't think had that. I don't know. They all look the same to me, to be honest. After a while, I stopped paying attention because there was so many Rodans flying around. I was like, who gives a shit? You know, like I started looking at Rodan more as a Gaios than a Rodan. Rob, you know most of the community loves Singular Point. Well, that's good. That's not going to change my opinion. It's absolute trash. I mean, when you hear people like, look, and I got to be honest here, because I kind of laughed when D-Man said this, and now that I've seen the show, knowing that he said this, but he said it was the best story we've gotten since 54. No. I don't see how you could even concede that. D-Man said that on Twitter like a couple of days ago. I don't know if it was late last week or early this week, but he said that, and I was like, I said to myself, there's no way that could be possible. But I was kind of laughing about it, thinking, yeah. And now that I've seen the show, I'm like, no fucking way. You cannot even be remotely serious about that. Rob, the Shang-Chi trailer just dropped. Oh, cool. I'll check it out later. Rob, what's your thoughts of Mechagodzilla design using the bone of the other Godzilla remains of the 74 design with the 2003 idea? What? Where are we going? Oh, you talking about the end of Singular Point? Yeah, it looks good. I said that earlier. I had just watched it because, I'll be honest, when the credits started rolling, I turned the shit off. I didn't wait for no end credits. D-Man versus Rob Singular Point debate, there'd be no debate. There'd be no debate. I don't see how you could, like, that debate would go nowhere. He loves the show and I don't. Porn movies have better story than Singular Point. Well, they're definitely more simplistic. Hotel room, naked chick, and a guy with a 9-inch dong, and that's it. There's your story. I mean, even porn movies are lazy now. At least the older porn movies had these stupid plots. Now they just go to a hotel room and film two people fucking. That's almost as dumb as the guy that tried to defend Mechagodzilla and Godzilla vs. Kong in the last stream I was in. Defend Mechagodzilla? What do you mean by that, Mata? How is a complicated story bad, though? It shows what you can really do with kaiju movies. How is a complicated story bad? I'll tell you how a complicated story is bad. You ever seen Tenet? Concept of that movie was fantastic. It was overly complicated. There are a lot of movies that the idea behind it might be cool. Look, I'm not against movies with time travel or alternate dimensions. That is cool shit. But when you overcomplicate it with all these scientific formula that nobody in their right mind even remotely understands, you can't even convince me that you 100% understood everything. How could you love something that you probably don't even understand? I'm not a physics major. Okay, I don't watch movies to learn about physics. I'm not saying you can't have physics in a movie, but keep it bare bone. This movie used so much science, and on top of that, it tried to use 3 different theories of physics to explain the monsters. Why? Why? And to top it off, where was the time travel in the movie, in the show? Besides the AI cat that said she traveled through time towards the end. Where was the element there? And what was the importance of it? And what does that have to do with the alternate dimension theory? Does it make sense? I guess what it is now is that if you're making Godzilla content, you got to one up everything before that came out. So if Godzilla can destroy Japan, now he's got to destroy the world. If he can destroy the world, now he's got to destroy the universe. What's next? Godzilla's going to destroy heaven? He's already gone to hell. So, after a while, we're going to run out of things for Godzilla to destroy. You're going to have to simplify it. Well, yeah, I already knew he liked the anime trilogy. Godzilla, the multiverse of madness. Godzilla destroys the multiverse. Godzilla destroys the IRS, etc. Yeah, Godzilla versus God. No, I know he can. He goes on runaway. Like, I wonder if it's just the idea that it's anime that he loves and not necessarily the story. Because I don't see how you could fully, I, for the most part, understand the story, and I still got lost. Like, what is the point of all this? You know what you miss, Cosner?
Cosner, idiot, dumbass, instead of choking girlfriend, choked yourself.
I really wish I could see what they liked about the anime trilogy. Yeah, it was disappointing, you know. There were definitely some highlights in there. There were definitely some moments that are really good, but they're too few and far between. I really started dozing off while watching it. I started getting bored, and I started not giving a shit. Once all the science mumbo jumbo kept going, I was like, I don't give a fuck about this. You know, you already lost the story with me, so don't try and come and impress me with all this physics bullshit. There's a reason I took information technology in school and not fucking science and physics. The plot of Singular Point is simple, kind of. Godzilla makes red dust, and the humans need to find a machine to stop him. Yes, it's everything in between that makes the plot a mess. You see what you did there, the way you simplified it? Why couldn't they just do that? Why do we have to go through hoops to get from point A to point B? See, right there, you should have wrote the series. You just simplified it in one sentence. Right? Godzilla is making a red dust. We need to find a way to stop him before he ends the world. Simple. Why are we talking about time travel, alternate dimensions, and singularities? I agree with that, Mr. L. I knew he was going to like it well before the show came out. You know why? Because he made a big stink about it on Discord for like a whole week. Because of filler. Yeah, that's how you get 13 episodes. You fill it with a bunch of science crap that nobody gives a shit about. If I want to learn about science, man, I'll go to school for it. I don't need to sit down on the show for 13 episodes and try to understand, you know, the singularities and alternate dimensions and time travel and all the science that goes behind it, that might go behind it. The show is a masterpiece. Most of the community loves it. That's saying something. Yeah, that's saying that there's people out there that like it. You want to know something? Go on The Nation. You know how many posts I saw on The Nation shitting all over the show? Maybe the communities you run in like it, but the communities I run in didn't like it. Even then, I gave it a fair shot. And I got to say, by episode 4 and 5, I was like, fuck this. Japanese animation is weird in general. Why are you shocked? Because I'm shocked because when I watch a show like Dragon Ball Z, that's not weird. When I watch a movie like Fist of the North Star, which is not weird. Not all Japanese anime is weird, and not all Japanese anime has to be weird. I've seen The Seven Deadly Sins. Not weird at all. I guess that means that you guys aren't excited for season 2. Well, I mean, they show Mechagodzilla, right? So, I mean, that's something to look forward to. I won't deny that. But, and it's not that I'm not going to watch it. I'll watch it. Hopefully they learn from the first one that the first story is over, right? So now we're done with the physics bullshit. So if we get back to brass tacks here and just tell them a story surrounding the monsters, if you can, I mean, the whole red dusting and it's pretty 50-50. Yeah, I would say it's 50-50. Which, speaking of final season for that comes out in 4 days. Cool. But what are they going to do with season 2? Is Godzilla even a thing anymore? Yeah. The red dust is time travel particles that already exist as archetype, a compound that bends time and space, and Godzilla shows up at some point. Yeah. I guess. And that Mechagodzilla looks like the 74 version. It does. It's crazy how Godzilla media struggle with a good story characters. I believe it's entirely possible to have a Godzilla movie to have all of those elements. It just hasn't completely happened yet. I think when it comes to telling a Godzilla movie story, I think some writers and producers just overthink it. There has to be a balance, right? There's got to be the story doesn't have to be like an Oscar-winning story. It just has to be a story that keeps you interested enough so that when Godzilla is not on the screen, the rest of the movie or show fails. After seeing Planet Eater and Singular Point, do you say that Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla is still the most powerful? So you talk about Legendary? Well, let me see. Godzilla Earth, I mean, he's obviously very powerful with his breath, but it's kind of like my argument with like Shin Gojira, right? Shin Gojira is all atomic breath. I would consider a Godzilla that can do both, that can brawl and blast you to hell, to be powerful. A Godzilla that does one and not the other. And Singular Point, I mean, Godzilla Earth is a one-trick pony. He's slow. He's really methodical. Half the time, I don't even know if he's alive. He moves so goddamn slow. But atomic breath-wise, yeah, I guess you would say he's the most powerful one. I mean, Singular Point Godzilla's atomic breath blasts through buildings, so does Legendary's. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of tired of trying to decide which Godzilla is the most powerful. They all try to one-up each other. I would say this. Design-wise, Singular Point is definitely one of my favorite designs. In terms of power representation, I still think Legendary is up there with what Toho used to do, which was a Godzilla that will blast you to hell, but will also whoop your ass. Singular Point Godzilla did a little bit of that. Godzilla Earth did none of that, and neither did Shin Gojira. But Godzilla Singular Point can destroy the universe. Yeah, I guess. Okay. All right, but he didn't. He got stopped by a gimpy jet jaguar. Okay? And he's about 150 feet shorter than Legendary, which means he has a lot less mass. Shin can destroy the universe? Yeah, they all can destroy the universe. Let's be real. This is, you know. I mean, all right, if you put Singular Point Godzilla against Legendary Godzilla and Singular Point Godzilla destroys the universe, then there's no loser, is there? It's a tie. All right? If Singular Point Godzilla fights against Legendary Godzilla and doesn't destroy the universe but loses, then Legendary Godzilla wins. So basically, Legendary Godzilla cannot lose to Singular Point Godzilla. How about that? Which equals Legendary Godzilla is the strongest. Because for Singular Point Godzilla to destroy Legendary Godzilla, he'd have to destroy the universe, in essence destroying himself, making the fight a tie. So either way, Legendary Godzilla wins one way or the other. That's true. I mean, legendary Godzilla did shoot a hole into the middle of the earth. Godzilla's singular point knocked down a couple of buildings and farted some red dust. I mean, we got to go by what we see on screen. Just because they say he can destroy the universe doesn't mean he can. We haven't seen it yet. And we never will. You know why? Bad ending. Who would win, Kong or Singular Point? All right. Let's not try to think that you could take advantage of the fact that I didn't like the show by me thinking that I'm going to say Kong would win. There's really nothing Kong could beat. Jet Jaguar in the show could probably beat Kong. Just by accent dodging. I know. Look, I already know Assassin. I already know you by now. Okay. You're very biased towards animes, which is why you think these shitty shows and these shitty movie trilogies are so good. Why you think they're the best thing since sliced bread. Look, I've seen them all now, and I can honestly say, if Toho wants to continue doing anime Godzilla shows or Godzilla movies, they need to step their game up because the stories are absolute trash. Rob, they literally said that Godzilla can make earthquakes and floods. He's the apocalypse. Godzilla. So what you think? Legendary can't make floods? Did you see 2014? He probably killed about 4,000 people with that tsunami. Like, what? What? Like, how many people did Singular Point kill in the show? None. The city was evacuated by the time he got there. He didn't even destroy the ship. He jumped over it when he was in the water. Godzilla Legendary came to shore, killed 4,000 people, and kept it moving like it was nothing. I mean, come on. All right? At least know the facts before you try and spit some knowledge. Legendary Godzilla is heartless. That's why I always find it funny when people say, he's such a good guy. Yeah, good guy killed like thousands of people in every movie. I mean, look what he did to Apex. You think there weren't people there that died when he blew that shit up? Not everybody in Apex is evil. He killed innocent people. Yeah, right? He turned in that crystallized form. People were taking selfies with him before they left. Yo, here's Godzilla's Singular Point, right? He's in that crystal form while he's evolving. People are fleeing the city, but they're stopping like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, you ever see anybody take a selfie with Legendary Godzilla? No. You know why? They'd fucking die. Oh, you see, look at this bullshit. If Godzilla Ultima and Legendary went toe-to-toe, Ultima would tail whip him to the moon with his long tail. He'd have to reach him with that long tail, okay? Godzilla Legendary is like 200 feet taller. Look, just stop your bullshit, okay? Just stop. Just stop. He really didn't care since the humans were disrupting the balance. Legendary Godzilla actually cares for the Titans and Earth. He cares very little about humanity. That's true. Rob, what are your thoughts on Toho's Godzilla's lack of personality, motivation behind the destruction? I feel like Toho Godzilla recently is just there to act cool. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't mind that he doesn't have a personality. I prefer that myself. But there is some characterization there that's very bland with these recent, like Godzilla Earth is just fucking bland. All he does is move slowly. Like, this is Godzilla Earth, right? This is Godzilla Earth. That's it. That's it. That's all he does. That's all he does. There's no personality there. Okay? I've mastered the ability to move so slowly that my movements are inconceivable to the eye, making me invisible. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember the whole line, but you guys know where that's from. Godzilla Earth is 1,000 feet. Yeah, I know. Okay, so by the time Godzilla Earth even makes it close to Legendary, he would have went in the water and said, I'm bored. I'm not dealing with this shit. And he would have went to sleep. Toho hasn't been knocking it out of the park with the recent Godzilla content. It's too bad. I kind of feel like they're trying too hard. Godzilla Earth could just stop Ultima. Shin Godzilla versus another Shin Godzilla. Just pray one of them doesn't miss. Because if they both miss each other, you're going to have two catatonic Godzillas in the middle of the city for fucking 2 weeks. It's going to be pretty boring. A lot of selfies. They describe Godzilla Earth as a moving mountain, and he is literally that. Yeah. Very exciting. You ever seen a mountain move? Tell me how exciting it is. I'm just surprised most of you here didn't enjoy Singular Point, even though it had what you guys wanted. More monsters, more action. Well, that's the part that's good, though, Assassin. Nobody's knocking that part. We're knocking the bullshit-ass story. Like, it's like you have a hard-on for people to like what you like. Like, I don't understand that. What is lacking in your life that it's so important to you that people like what you like? There's got to be other things that just make up for that gap. Plus, there's no evidence that Godzilla Legendary's atomic breath cannot pierce Godzilla Earth. You shouldn't be surprised, dude. Not everybody's gonna like what you like. And quite frankly, the show was not that good. It had moments. It definitely had a lot more moments than Godzilla the Animated Trilogy. And there were some moments that I enjoyed a great deal. I even like the characters. I really do. I like the characters. I like the monster designs. When there was monster action, it was fun. But the monster action was few and far between. The story brought the characters down. The voice acting was great. The story really hurt it. The story was really bad. It was overly bloated. It didn't have to be like that. They could, if they had simplified, even if the story sucked in a different way, like it was just something as simple as monsters are waking up to destroy the world, that would have made the show so much better. And the music, right? The music was great. The music was fantastic. That's a good point, Childish. So basically, if you put Godzilla Earth against Legendary Godzilla, the chances of Godzilla Earth hitting Godzilla with an atomic breath is slim to none because it's so telegraphed and slow. And Legendary has already proven that he could pierce Godzilla Earth because he went through the crust of the actual Earth, which is what Godzilla derives of. Godzilla Earth, that is. So with that evidence alone, yeah, Legendary could beat Godzilla Earth. At the end of the day, right now, look, I hate to say this, and I know Toho purists will hate this. Right now, Legendary Godzilla is the Godzilla to watch. It really is. There's really no arguing there, I don't think. I mean, you can, But right now, based on what I've seen from Toho in the last couple of years versus what I've seen from Legendary, right now Legendary is just, they're killing it. They've taken Toho's IP and they've brought it to a whole nother level. Right now, if I had it my way on who would be creating Godzilla content, I'd sign off to Legendary 100%. You know, and I know, and look, in some ways it hurts for me to say that because it's Toho's IP, Toho, but it's just hard. It's hard to just argue that, even in my own brain. I'm like, really? Do I really want to say that? And it's like, yeah, I kind of have to. Godzilla will never leave Toho. Toho's king. Well, no, that's true. He never will leave Toho. And Toho is king of the IP. You're right. But right now, Legendary is shitting all over Toho, taking their IP and bringing it to a whole nother level that they could only dream of doing. And until Toho proves otherwise, it's going to remain that way. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. At least Toho's trying something different. But trying something new and something different doesn't always mean it's going to work. And right now, the animated trilogy didn't work, and this TV show didn't work. Shin Godzilla, even though I didn't like it, I will say that worked because most people did like Shin Gojira. I personally didn't like it, but let's not count that as a failure because it wasn't. It was a success. So right now, Toho is like 1 for 3 in the last couple of years. Yeah, they can. And they should. If this is what they're going to keep spitting out, to save your money and let Legendary do it. Most people like seeing La Pointe. It was top 3 on Netflix Japan for weeks. Okay, but it wasn't number 1, was it? It wasn't number 1. I think Toho's best bet is to do a live action Godzilla movie right now. I think they're trying to, and I get this because they lost a lot of money during the pandemic. So they're probably not ready to invest the kind of money it would take to make a live action Godzilla movie. You know, these could have been story elements that they were considering for a live action movie, and they decided to use it for an anime. And hopefully they get the feedback that, you know, even if it does well in Japan, Japan is a very small market compared to the West. I mean, everybody's talking about Godzilla vs. Kong's release in Japan. Look, a good weekend opening for Godzilla vs. Kong in Japan is going to be like 20 million max. Legendary stories are mediocre, but they're good enough and they provide enough monster stuff that it's good. I mean, you know, 2 out of the 3 Godzilla movies were very successful. Yeah, you try to show singular point to a general audience person, they'll be dead by episode 2. I wouldn't say a ton. Let's not get crazy. You know, that's 6.5 hours worth of content. No, 7.5 hours worth of content. There wasn't that much monster action. I mean, when it was on screen, it was good, but there wasn't that much. I wouldn't say tons. Tons is well overstated. There were some episodes where you got none at all. And there were like a couple of times where you get consecutive episodes with no monster action. So I wouldn't go crazy saying there's tons. That's actually a lie. They're actually overselling it. Right now, you're propagandizing the show. I think I still have the air horn. Let me see. No, I think I took it out. Yeah, I took it out. Every episode has at least 1 or 2 action scenes or monsters.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Stop you fucking lying.
I'm just gonna let the soundboard talk for me now. Based on what I'm watching so far in the show, I can see general audiences would be bored with this show. I agree, they would be. Every opening for Singular Point has a monster and action scenes. Every opening. All right, so you're counting the credits as monster action? Oh my lord. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so good. You're acting like a squirrel in the road right now. The music is great. I love the music. It's absolutely phenomenal. If Legendary Godzilla is the best right now, why are they making a Son of Kong next and not another Godzilla film? Oh boy. First of all, before I get into what I was going to say to that, where's the evidence that they're making a Son of Kong? I think you guys just fail to understand the Aurora. Oh, there he goes with the Aurora bullshit. The soundtrack comes out on 23rd next month, I believe. Sorry, guys, I got this. I'm setting it up. I'm setting it up. I want to see how he answers the question. Son of Godzilla was rumored. Oh, there it is. Rumored. So you're not 100% sure, are you? Now, look, to be fair, I concede that the next movie will be a Kong movie, which would be the second Kong movie in the MonsterVerse compared to Godzilla's 3 movies. So how does that define anything? What was it you said again? If Legendary Godzilla is the best. Okay, yeah. So why are they making Son of Kong next and not another Godzilla film? Maybe because they want to even out the playing field here. Like, you got 3 Godzilla movies, maybe 3 Kong movies, and then you do a bigger movie. Let me tell you this. What do you think are the chances? What do you think are the chances of Adam Wingard doing another MonsterVerse movie? Let's see how much you've learned about what movies he has in store for him coming up. Okay? Because I can tell you right now, based on the projects he's got coming up, it would not surprise me if he's not going to do another MonsterVerse movie. It's a fair question. I don't think it's an unfair question, but I don't think it's a fair question either. I think it's an incompetent question. What you're assessing that Godzilla, that Legendary's Godzilla is not the best version of Godzilla because they're making a Kong movie, which makes absolutely no sense. You are basing a comparison of Godzilla Legendary to the Toho version of Godzilla, and that because they're not making another Godzilla movie yet, but rather making a Kong movie, possibly, that makes Godzilla not the best. Now, to throw a little facts your way. In May 2017, Wingard was announced to direct Godzilla vs. Kong, as we all know. In February of 2021, this year, it was announced Wingard would direct and co-write Face Off. In March 2021, Wingard was announced to direct Thundercats, also co-write it. And then in May 2021, Wingard was announced to be directing an adaptation of the comic book Hardcore by Robert Kirkman. So basically, he's already been signed on to do 3 movies. How long do you think Legendary is going to wait for him to do another Godzilla movie? Remember, they were going to wait 4 years for Gareth Edwards after doing 1 movie, which was Star Wars. Okay? They were going to wait 3 to 4 years for Gareth Edwards to do 1 movie. Adam Wingard's already doing 3. What are the chances he's coming back for a Godzilla movie or a Monsterverse movie? Let's do the math. It's not that hard. 3 years for 1 movie? Let me see. If it takes around 3 years to wait for 1 movie to get done, and he's doing 3, that would be 9 years. Do you think Legendary's going to wait 9 years for Adam Wingard to do another Monsterverse movie? What I'm saying is, if Legendary Godzilla is the best version right now and most successful, why wouldn't they continue with Godzilla next? Why do another Kong movie? Why not do another Kong movie? He's part of the Monsterverse. And maybe the reason they're not signing on to do a Godzilla movie yet is because the rights to Legendary having Godzilla have already expired. So maybe while they negotiate new terms with Toho, they release a Kong movie to keep the Monsterverse movie series going. It's called common sense and research. Try it. Okay? All right. Oh. It has nothing to do with which version of Godzilla is the best or not. It has to do with, contracts and agreements. There are things that go behind closed doors that we're not privy to, but we have enough information to be able to deduce what's going on and why certain things might be happening the way they are. The kill button. I haven't even been reading. Just ignore him if he's bothering you that much. I haven't been reading his shit. I already know where this is going with him, so it's like, we've been through this before. The fact of the matter is, Godzilla is most likely out of the Monsterverse, and Toho will make more Godzilla content for us. That is a possibility. Oh. I drink my coffee. Mm-hmm. Rob, do you identify Godzilla as a dragon? Sorry if this question kind of came out of nowhere. No, I don't actually. So Kong is the main character of the Monsterverse for now? I think he's probably the main character, I would argue. He's easier to relate to audiences than Godzilla is. So they might use him as a catalyst for the main character, which I don't have a problem with that. How it looks, we may how it looks, we may have our own Godzilla Toho dub legendaries. Toho dub legendaries Godzilla, the American Godzilla. Maybe we do get the rights back for Godzilla. We probably will, but you know, it's got to be a done deal, and I'm pretty sure it will be. Japan and Toho are rolling in the dough with the MonsterVerse. Did you guys know that all the profit, whatever profit the movies make in Japan, MonsterVerse movies, Toho gets 100%. None of that cut goes to Legendary. Toho gets all of it. So if you think they're going to turn away easy money like that, it's not happening. At least I don't think it is. Especially after a pandemic, they got to make some money back. The only thing I know of their agreement is that they cannot both release a Godzilla movie, or I think it's mainly a Godzilla movie, in the same year. So like if there's a new Godzilla movie, say it comes out in 2023, then Toho cannot release a Godzilla movie that year. But if Toho releases a Godzilla movie in 2023, then Legendary cannot release one. That's why if you notice, like Godzilla Shin Gojira came out in 2016. Later, Assassin. Why can't Legendary make a Kong movie that just features Godzilla? They did. It's called Godzilla vs. Kong. Did you even watch the movie? The whole story is about Kong. It's a Kong movie that features Godzilla. Where are we today? What is going on? What? Is it just me here today? What the fuck? The whole movie's about Kong, dude. What's going on here? The whole movie is about Kong. Godzilla is the guest star. Oh my Lord. And CB, I don't expect that from you. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
It was Kong's movie with Godzilla and Mechagodzilla peppered in it. Yeah. I know. When I get the new display in a couple of weeks, when I get it all set up, believe me, I'm considering getting a Wheaties poster because what I mean is like a primarily Kong movie and Godzilla is just a side character. Like Godzilla did have somewhat kind of a role in Godzilla vs. Kong. Nah, dude, it was a Kong movie. Kong opened the movie. Kong closed the movie. We spent more time with Kong than we did with Godzilla. We saw Godzilla after the opening of the movie. We saw Godzilla as he made his way to the Apex facility, blew it up, bounced. From that point on, again, we didn't see Godzilla again to the aircraft carrier scene. After that, we didn't see Godzilla again until he made a U-turn to head to Hong Kong when he felt Mechagodzilla. That scene was only like 4 seconds. And then you saw him with the big fight in Hong Kong. And then he got his ass kicked by Mechagodzilla. And Kong had his glory moment at the end. And the movie finished with Kong swinging in the Hollow Earth. You got a Kong movie, dude. If you can somehow get Assassin or Acno's face on the Wheaties poster, that'd be legendary. But you can't get that honor if you don't eat your Wheaties. That's the whole thing. You can't be on the Wheaties poster if you don't eat your Wheaties. All right, I don't know what to say. Well, maybe it's just that you want another Kong-centered movie with Godzilla in it. And that's fine. I'm not opposed to that either. where the main character loses to the side character. Rocky lost to Apollo. Apollo was a side character. Adam Wingard straight up said he wanted to tell the Rocky story with Kong as Rocky. And he did just that. Yeah, it would be nice if she returned, but unfortunately it's not happening. All right. This has been a very animated conversation tonight. Did Elza Gonzalez respond yet? Nah, she probably, at least she didn't block me, so that's a good thing. Pedo Kong. When do you think we'll hear something if they do decide to continue the Monsterverse? Probably Comic-Con next month, the end of next month, July. What I would love to see is a Monsterverse movie set like 1,000 years back, and the main character is an Iwi tribe member. That's pretty cool. Toho should just bring back Baby Heisei Godzilla, since he did get revived in Godzilla vs. Destroyer. No, I think they need to go away from that. They need to do something new. You know what I mean? Like I don't want them to return back to any of those old stories or old times. They need to move forward. Yeah, I'm hoping we get Monsterverse news at Comic-Con about what's upcoming, if anything. You know, that's the big thing. We're kind of right now left in limbo as to what the future holds. Because on one hand, Legendary's been making tweets that make it sound like it's the end. But then on the other hand, they've made some tweets that make it sound like they're going to keep well, according to the art book, it makes it sound like they're going far, but you know, we'll see. Money talks. And I think Godzilla vs. Kong salvaged at least another movie, if not more. Who do I think would win between Rodan and Anguirus? I think pretty much any monster can beat Anguirus at this point. An HBO Max series about Marlowe and Gunpei in Skull Island. You have a better chance of getting that story with the Netflix show they announced on HBO Max. You can make 2 movies with Godzilla vs. Kong's box office revenue. I wouldn't go that far. Not 2 movies. Definitely make 1. With all the idea fans are coming up with, I'm sure Toho can think of something. Rob, if they announce the next Monsterverse movie is a Godzilla movie next month, how would you think Kong fans would react? I don't know. They might be upset because, look, even I think the next movie is going to be a Kong movie. It kind of makes sense, you know? The movie ended with Kong. We just got into the Hollow Earth. He's there now. Monarch's down there. They've kind of set it up for another Kong movie. And considering that negotiations have to be made between Toho and Legendary, if Toho wants to keep investing in Godzilla, it would make sense to make another Kong movie while people wait for another Godzilla movie if we get one. So I think we'll hear about another Kong movie. I don't think it's going to be Adam Wingard directing it. I'll tell you that right now. I don't see how he would fit that in. He's doing 3 movies. He's already been signed on for 3 movies. Now, the only way I could see that Adam Wingard does it is if he signed on for another Monsterverse movie behind closed doors that we don't know about. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Couldn't they have just used the Oxygen Destroyer and Godzilla vs. Kong against Godzilla? I don't know. Would you invest millions of dollars to make a weapon that didn't work the first time? Because technically it didn't work. Godzilla still lived. Even before the nuke to the face, they said in the movie he just needs to recharge. In other words, had they not nuked him, it would have taken him a couple of years to get back to normal. So in essence, the Oxygen Destroyer did not kill him. So would it be a wise investment to use a bomb that didn't kill him in the first place? And why would you want to use it against him? Because Godzilla's behavior wasn't exactly erratic. It was erratic in the sense that to humans that in the movie, they were unsure why he was attacking, but they did notice that he was only attacking specific places that were Apex related, which warrants an investigation. If he's randomly just destroying cities all over the place, then that's one thing. But if he's only destroying one specific facility in different locations, then that more warrants an investigation. So killing him before figuring out why he's doing what he's doing, and then trying to use a weapon that didn't kill him in the first place, doesn't make any sense when you sit down and think about it. They should use 2 Oxygen Destroyers, I guess. What evidence do we have that 2 would kill him as opposed to 1? So now you're investing millions of dollars in 2 weapons, but you still have no guarantee of destruction. What about 5 Oxygen Destroyers? Yeah, but it didn't. You can get as almost as you want. It didn't kill him. When, I'm pretty sure they're thinking to themselves, almost isn't good enough. It either does the job or it doesn't. There is no try. Rob, would you like to watch a love story between Kong and another kaiju? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If this whole rumor about Son of Godzilla comes true, Son of Kong comes true, like I'll go watch the movie, but I tell you right now, I'm not gonna be going in with high expectations. What if they found a way to improve the Oxygen Destroyer to do its purpose the way it was intended? All right, so let's say they do that. They invest a little bit more money to make it more potent, right? And they drop it, and it still doesn't work. Then what? That's what I'm saying. Like, who did Kong hump? The only way I can see them doing that storyline is if there's another leftover Kong species that's younger than him, and he kind of takes him under his wing. I guess you could do that way, but the lore that they've established all but says that the Kong species has been wiped out. He's the last one. So you're kind of going back against your own lore, which the continuity issues in the MonsterVerse are pretty clear right now. So it's not like they wouldn't be willing to do that. They probably would be. How would you feel if the son of Kong isn't a Kong species but a different kind of baby Titan? Then you'd have to call it the adoption of Kong. Could Camazotz return? I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure because I didn't finish reading Kingdom Kong. I see Oxygen Destroyers on Godzilla like stabbing a dude with a knife. You stab a guy with 1, he survives, but you stab him with 2, he most likely dies. An Oxygen Destroyer has only killed 1 Godzilla. Son of Duck. In prequel of the animated trilogy, USA used an AMR type of weapon on him about 100 more at the same time, and Godzilla Earth survived. What if there's a 24-hour movie? I have zero interest in that. Even if it is Godzilla. I love Marvel and I love the Avengers, and even Endgame was rough for me to watch because it was too long. There's very few movies that are long and they make it feel like they're like, I could watch the Lord of the Rings extended trilogy and not get tired of it because it flows so well. But most movies can't pull that off. And there's no way you can't even do a 2.5 hour kaiju movie, let alone 24 hours. You know how much filler you need and how bored people would get? Do you think there are people who live in the Hollow Earth? Maybe. We know at least now Monarch people live down there. So. Godzilla vs. Kong was long. It was under 2 hours. That's about right. That's a good length for, I think, any movie at this point. 2.5 hours for a movie is stretching it these days. You'd have to make a really good flowing movie to get by with 2.5 hours. People just don't want to sit in the theater that long. Do you think King Kong 2005 was a love story? To an extent. I mean, you can't realistically have a love story between an ape and a woman, but there obviously was love there. You know, I mean, he cared a great deal for her and she cared a great deal for him. It wasn't the kind of love that we would traditionally consider a love story, but there was love there. So, yeah, to a certain extent. Modern day pedo Kong. They did it with The Shape of Water. Yeah. That doesn't mean it was good. And for the record, the fish man in The Shape of Water was about the size of a man. Kong's like 25 feet tall and is about 5'2". So, you know, there's certain tangibles you got to take into consideration when you're going to bring that up. No, and again, if you like the movie, that's fine. I thought it was absolute trash. Robbie, have a good night. I'm going to watch SP even though I hate it. See y'all tomorrow. All right. Shape of Water was weird. Shape of Water was just complete garbage. The fact that it won an Oscar was shocking to me. But then again, it's the Oscars. They always pick these fucking obscure, shitty movies. I feel like they will hold Godzilla and Kong from crossing over again until they do their final Endgame type movie. Yeah, I didn't realize it's 10:30 already. Your dumb Shape of Water was fantastic. Well, then you're a fucking bestiality fucker. How about that? You want a name call? If you like The Shape of Water, specifically you, Gil, then you like fucking fish. How's that? Okay? You want to throw insults? I'm entitled to my opinion. If you loved it, that's fine. I thought it was garbage. Okay? All right. Fucking people so easily offended. It was core. It was wonderful. Hey, look, if you thought it was wonderful, then good. You got your money's worth. I thought it was garbage. It was a shitty ass movie. Fucking people. All right, time to go. There's too much sensitivity going on. Tomorrow night, we'll do the Godzilla stream. that I've been talking to you guys about. You guys, everybody, not everybody, but some people will get a chance to come on, 10 minutes, talk about whatever your dream Godzilla movie would be, and then we'll give as many people as we can a turn, but you got to do it within 10 minutes. I'm going to be very strict on the time. So, all right. I know, no one can have an opinion. People get so fucking butthurt, it's ridiculous. I'm dumb because I don't like a movie he likes. Where's the sense there? I mean, that in and of itself is a dumb way of viewing things. This fucking people. All right, take it easy, guys.
Stop when the clock hits 13. You've been working, but you're flirting with the weekend. You can freak out. 1 in a million. You're a gem shine when the light grows dim. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. We got the right stuff. We put the hammer right down. Wanna be like us? You better stick around. If you want it, you gotta prove it. Like we do it, like we do it. Groove with your hips and break it down. Stop when the clock hits 13. You've been learning and you're earning all of those hours. You can freak out. 1 in a million. Gonna shine bright and you never go dim. Sing it 1, 2, 3, 4. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. We got the right stuff. We put the hammer right down. Wanna be like us? You better stick around. If you want it, you gotta prove it. Like we do it, like we do it. There's no one can do it like we do it. There's no one can do it like we do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.